In today's vlog, we are going live over to the island of Tenerife to speak to Tim Dowd, local podcaster and resident on the island of Tenerife. Now, what we need to know is whether us Brits and Europeans and anybody else in the world can visit the island of Tenerife this month or next. Well, that's the big question. There are lots of conflicting stories in the press and the media at the moment. Apparently, the Spanish government have announced that we can go through their borders on June the 21st if you're in the Schengen zone. Also later on they announced that the rest of Europe could actually visit there as well. But there's conflicting stories about this. I want to get to the bottom of it and see whether we can clear this up, because at the moment the big question is Tenerife cleared for takeoff, or is it as clear as mud? Well, we'll delve into that in a little while. Remember, first, like, subscribe, click that little bell for notifications if when I upload new videos. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, which is down there. Also, I've got a special edition Tenerife Departure Board t-shirt 2020, and some of you who are beginning to lose hope and give up hope, I've done a 2021 for you as well, so you can get that in case you want to give it up this year and go next. Anyway, let's find out what's going on and let's get over to the island of Tenerife. So, without further ado, let's go. Tim, how are you?
Well, it rained last night and we've just had a power cut. The power's just come back on, so apart from that, we're fine.
I was going to ask you what the weather was like, because there is talks of another Kalima coming in.
It's been coming out of Africa for the past 4 days, but because we got like a depression above us, it's kept it at bay. So it was due to hit yesterday the southern islands, so Gran Canaria and the south here, and I think it's pushing the temperatures up because it was quite warm last night. And in the shade now we have 27. So 27. It's pushed the temperatures up a bit. Last week it was like in the mid-20s, and now it's in the upper 20s. So
not too bad then, not too bad at all. Well,
not too bad at all.
I've got a few questions for you, as I usually have. But first of all, by the way, your podcast.
What's question 10?
I think everybody knows what question 10 is already, don't they? Although we've got a twist on it this time. We have a twist on it.
Maybe.
By the way, I've got to say, and if you haven't done this already, go down to the links below and go to it's timdowd.com, which is your website, and
TimothyDowd.com.
TimothyDowd.com, that's right. I shall put the link down below. Done an excellent podcast there this week with a guy called Peter Quilty, who is a restaurateur, ex-restaurateur, is he, or a restaurateur still?
He's retired now, semi-retired, and
so go down there, hit the links down below, because it is really good, and Tim does some excellent podcasts. So all the links are down below there. Click on them links. Well worth it, because he does you do balcony banter each week, and does a lot of different updates from the island of Tenerife. So if you love Tenerife, then you'll love Tim. So there you go. Links down below.
Thank you.
So we'll get on to question two. But before we do that, this whole vlog today is about whether we can return back to the island of Tenerife, because there is so much confusion in the news. I mean, the title of this vlog is Tenerife cleared for takeoff, or is it as clear as mud? Because there's so many different conflicting statements. Now, let me just read you a little bit of this from the Daily Mirror. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, the Daily Mirror, whatever, same as the Sun. But this is in a few different media as well. Because according to Reuters, visitors from the Schengen area will be able to visit Spain from June the 21st. I'm reading this off my iPad, so do apologise. But government sources later said that visitors from the EU would also be able to come. But now there's confusion, because people are saying, well, The Brits don't belong to the EU anymore, so they're changing the rules on that. And people are messaging me saying, I'm gonna book my holiday, I'm booking it, we're going. And I'm thinking, whoa, just steady on there, because there's conflicting statements here, because Britain and Ireland are outside the Schengen, so would not be allowed in until the July the 1st. So there's conflicting statements. So this is kind of question 10, but I mean, we'll just run with this anyway. What is going on? What's going on, Tim? What's going on?
Well, I think what it is we have a few people talking, and one is Sanchez, who's talking about Spain, and the other is Torres, who's talking about the Canary Islands, and then we've got another mix where, as of today, 10,500 northern Germans are allowed to come into the Balearic Islands through an air corridor. So that's another thing that's gone in. So we're actually open for business. Spain is open for business today from outside Spain. But it is a test for an air corridor between 4 or 5 sort of North and West German airports, not Munich. We got like Frankfurt, Hanover, Hamburg, Dusseldorf, and Stuttgart are allowed to fly into Mallorca, Ibiza, and there's one flight to Menorca. And that was written into law last Friday. So they're controlling these as air corridors quite rigorously. So that's the one thing. So we're open for business. We're testing it out with countries that are at a similar level to us and from areas that we trust. The things they've got to put in place to get an air corridor pass, if you like, is the test of what everybody's going to have to do in the future. That means there's going to be testing at origin airport. There has to be controls at the origin country. There has to be some sort of app or pass that you need to have to make sure that you haven't been in contact with anybody. The Germans have developed one. The Spanish are developing one. I'm sure that Britain is developing one. And I'm sure that USA has got the best one ever. But what's going to happen is this test this week, if you like, or the next 2 weeks, is going to be for these air corridors. Having said that, Ángel Torres also said that he would go to new normal as quickly as possible, and it could have been today. And then it was on the cards, but there was no decision made, so he hasn't backpedaled. He just said, no, we've looked into it, and it's not right to go to new normal on the 15th. We're going to stay with the rest of Spain. That new normal starts on the 21st. So the 21st is going to be when we open our borders to non-Spanish, Schengen countries. Now, the Schengen countries, there's 26 of them, 22 are in the EU, and I think 4 of them are outside the EU. I think something like Norway, Switzerland, Iceland, and I can't think of the other one. But so that we're opening up to Schengen. That means that there is a non-border control. So the free movement has been lifted starting the 21st. And I've got some more information about that in a minute. Then on the 1st of July, it is going to be open to people who are the rest of the EU and outside the EU. Except for Portugal. And the reason that Portugal is being pushed to the 1st of July is because they want to do a big ceremony of reopening the border, because it's one of the main, well, it's the main border of Spain on the west there. And so the king and both leaders of the governments will be doing a grand opening on the 1st of July. That was planned anyway. So that's why Portugal will not be available open on the 21st. So that's basically what's been decided. Now, if anybody reads anything into that, like when are the Brits coming or when can the Irish come, then it's exactly the same as it was last week, that there has to be controls in place. There are the ESA, I think it's called, the European Air Agency, has got rules in place and that we are following for air travel. So if you're going to go and look that up, then you'll find out what you need to do, what hoops you need to jump through to be able to get on a plane. Now, once you're on a plane, each airline has to put in certain controls and prove to the air agency, the European Air Agency, that they are in good standing, that they are able to do everything that's suggested, and so those are the hoops you're going to jump through. Not whether Spain's allowing you in or not. Whether you can get on a plane is the question you need to ask. And after the 1st of July, we are opening the borders to non-EU countries that are of a similar level. Now, as we've seen, our level came down really, really fast in the last 4 weeks. So it was basically halved each time. So there's still chance for Britain to do that. All you have to do is to do what Spain and a lot of other countries did and keep following the rules. Don't relax. Don't think it's all over. Don't get bored with it, basically. So if you're following the rules, there is a chance that you can really quickly get to a new normal in your country, and then we want you back.
I think that basically, because people keep asking me that question, we can go back over, but you cannot go back over until we are on the same level, which is what I've read. So this is where the conflicting statements are. Yes, we will be allowed back in if you do as you're told and you adhere to all the rules and regulations. If not, and we're not on the same level, you won't be able to go back. And
now there is a caveat. And the caveat is that we're testing the air corridor with Germany, so there is a possibility that certain areas of Britain that may have a slightly different level than, let's say, in a London or wherever the greatest things are. It may be that there's an air corridor being negotiated right now. We don't know between Edinburgh and us, or Belfast, or Manchester. It could be that, or one of the smaller southern airports, So I don't have any information on that, but it's still a possibility that an air corridor or multiple air corridors might be then negotiated, even though Britain as a whole isn't at the same de-escalation level. The first thing that Britain has to do, though, is to get rid of the quarantine, and nobody's asking Britain to get rid of the 14-day quarantine until they're ready. So if that doesn't go away, then there is no chance, because you can't come here if you've got to be quarantined on the way back. Yeah,
so we need to get rid of the quarantine in the UK first. There is a slight delay, by the way, on the video, but we're just going to run with this. I have got one other question as well. With these air corridors, and there was also some requirements that we have to meet, such as, and I don't know whether you know anything about this, a minimum of 5 nights stay, and you have to show proof of return, and also of where you are staying while you're on the island.
Yeah, basically it's I actually have it here, but it's exactly as you said. As there is a minimum of a 5 night stay, and you have to have all the, what's the word? It's like when you fill out a form to go to America. Which hotel are you staying in? Where have you been? Have you been on a farm the last 10 weeks?
The correct documentation.
So it's basically so there is a document that you're going to have to fill out, and but it's the same as going to any other country really that isn't in Europe. We've been sort of like lucky in Europe up to now that there's so little bureaucracy. So a little bit bureaucracy is coming back, but I don't think it's going to affect anybody. If people have already booked their holiday and they haven't been cancelled yet, then anything after middle of July is still on the cards. Some of the hotels are not opening till August, or some are closed now till October. So it depends on your hotel also. It could also depend on who you're flying with. So if you booked with somebody and the hotel is open but the flight's not flying, then that's a problem, or the other way around, if your flight flies but your hotel's not ready. So if you're with a package, I think that they should take care of it. But if you book separately, then just be careful. And to book now again, I would say if you don't need the money, then book it, because if it doesn't happen, you'll probably be able to get a credit. But if you're hoping to get your money back if it gets cancelled, I'd hold off. That's my personal view.
Yeah, totally agree. Also, question 3, we've kind of you've covered that. It says that the Canarian government have backtracked on moving to phase 4, but you've covered that because he doesn't deem it to be safe, which is quite rightly so.
But he didn't backtrack. He just never made the decision. It was always a theory that he was going to say let's go on the 15th, and they just decided not to.
Yeah. He's not allowed to say let's go, by the way. That's my phrase.
Vámonos, he would say. Vámonos.
Vámonos. Which leads me to question number 4, which is a serious one. What are the latest COVID-19 figures? Have you got the numbers there?
Oh, you're going to be proud of me here. You're going to be proud of me. Sorry if it's rubbing on my shirt here.
That's fine. We're going with it today.
But see, we do read the comments.
We do read the comments. Apparently his microphone was rubbing on his shirt, but there you go. We're trying our best. So
okay, so I took some screenshots before the electricity went out, and there is a website in Spanish, but basically there's not a lot of Spanish on it. It's all numbers and maps. I don't know if you can see this, but I'll send you the pictures. I took some screenshots. I'll send them to you.
Yeah.
Maybe you can blend them in.
I will do that, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I'll send you these. So basically, the Canary Islands in total have had 2,386 cases up to now, in total. 162 deaths, unfortunately, but 2,134 have recovered. That is leaving us in the whole of the 7 islands 90 active cases, 90. So that's very, very low. If we drill down to, I'm going the wrong way. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. If we drill down to one of the islands, which I drilled down to Tenerife, there is 1,499 cases. We had 110 deaths on this island, and 1,355 people recovered. So on Tenerife, the whole of Tenerife, we only have 34 active cases as of this morning, 5 a.m. Okay. Then we have, what's this one? Dia de Azora, which is the next municipality towards Los Gigantes. That's with San Juan and Alcalá, those places, and the Abama, Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah.
Basically, they have had in total 6 cases, all of them recovered, no deaths, no active.
Excellent.
Who else we got? We have Arona, which is Los Cristianos and Las Americas. They had in total 47 cases. 5 people unfortunately died, 40 have recovered, and we only have 2 active cases in Arona. Adeje is... Where is Adeje? Zora. Adeje. We had in total 29 cases. Unfortunately, 1 death, so 28 have recovered and no active. And I'd like to say that the whole of the South Coast has been COVID-free for the past month now.
Oh, wow.
So, no, I think 17 days in Arona, but everybody else is 57 days, or nearly 2 months. So it's a very safe place to come to. And all the more reason not to bring it back.
Yeah,
so that's, I mean, you heard the news of Beijing that they think there's a second wave starting in Beijing now.
Yeah.
So what we're saying is that we are a safe place. We've done the right thing. We reacted very, very quickly. The government did the hard lockdown immediately, and everybody sort of followed the rules. So therefore, we are one of the safest places on the planet at the moment, I would say.
And that's why you don't want it back. So
yes, we in fact, the tourist office did say that the most important thing, even more important than money, is safety. And I think, I don't want to go into politics, but there are certain factions of people who are saying, let's restart the economy, come what may. And other people are saying, look, I'd rather be safe than sorry. Yeah. So I don't know which side of the fence you're going to be on, but our government here is putting people and health over profit, which I think is a good thing.
I do. What's your views on this, viewers? Would you rather just restart the economy and get back to life as normal, or would you rather be safe and have everybody COVID-free? Comments down below. Which now leads me to number 5, which kind of, I think we've covered this again really, but Jet2 are to resume their flight to Tenerife mid-June. Well, it'll be 1st of July now, won't it? They keep moving the goalpost and setting a date. Do you think July is feasible? They've already moved their June the 1st date. So
I think July 15th is a feasible date for Jet2. I think that by that time, either the corridors will be in place, or but it depends where they say they're flying from. You know, I mean, Jet2 fly from everywhere to everywhere, so it might be that they're flying from the Republic of Ireland. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know where, but I think for foreign, 15th of July is quite doable. Again, depends which hotel, because there are a lot of hotels not opening.
Yeah, there is. I think that, I mean, I personally think a lot of people are going to wait until next year. A lot of my viewers have said, I'm going to wait until next year now. I'd rather just play it safe. So whether Tenerife is going to be as busy as it was before, I don't know. I mean,
now don't forget, Tenerife was full over the past few years. We had over 6 million visitors a year, so we have been pretty full. I think that nobody's expecting us to go back to that level immediately. So to restart from a standing start and getting back to full capacity immediately isn't going to happen anyway. So we, as an island, we're saying, let's do this safely and slowly. So it's a step-by-step method that we're going through. So I think that if it was possible to start back to the old normal tomorrow, we couldn't handle it. So let's do it slowly. Let's make sure. Let's go for the. There's even talk now of a thing called intelligent tourism, that they're looking like 5 and 10 years ahead of what we want to see like, and a lot of technology is going to come into play. So you're going to be able to send drones out to have a look at where your hotel's going to be, and your app is going to tell you where the next best food is based on your profile and all that. So.
It's crazy. Do you know, I've got to say this before we go to the next question. I personally think, I mean, I don't know what you think, I don't think the airlines and the governments are working together well enough, because otherwise the airlines wouldn't be we're starting flights, then they're cancelling it, and the governments are changing their minds. Why don't they get their heads together and just work together?
I think that, I think we said this last time I was on, you're getting your information from the media.
That's the problem.
The media want to sell. The media want to sell newspapers. You know, I mean, we don't do clickbait thumbnails, do we?
And then the next question is, moving swiftly on. Yes, you're quite right. Clickbait. What's this one called? It's.
Isn't it like? Oh yeah. Okay. No.
Anyway, we'll move on to the next one.
You can cut that out if you want.
No, I'm going to leave everything in on this one.
Okay.
Right, so basically, with all the uncertainty about when tourism will start again, and I know you know a lot of business owners there, are the business owners and the public getting a little disheartened? Because obviously they need the income, they need the money.
Yeah, I mean, the business owners are saying, I want to get back to the way it was. But I would say a lot of the people that I know are really, really connected to the tourist industry. There's a beautiful restaurant on the corner of the main corner of our street in Kayasawaki. And it's a fantastic restaurant. It's full every night. They do breakfast and everything. It's a beautiful terrace, nice rooms inside. And he's just staying shut because he knows that we don't go there. Yeah, I mean, we do go there, but it's designed for tourists. Yeah. So his main thing was the tourism industry. So locals can't eat there every night. Yeah. You know, it's such a good restaurant. You know, It's like you going out to the Ritz-Carlton every night.
Never been at all. And number 7, is the Canarian government still helping legitimate businesses over there, or has the government now stopped with all its benefits? Like we have the furlough scheme here, which is still going, but will be phased out slowly.
Well, I don't know the total details on that, but there has been talk of extending the ERTE, which is the payment that goes to help the people who are furloughed. So ERTE is basically the furlough system. And I think the last thing I heard, and I can't put my finger on it, but was like October. So, but mainly that's going to be for hotel workers that aren't being brought back, because they don't need all the hotel workers if the hotel's only going to open at half capacity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And which brings me to number 8. This, and I'm reading this, apologise, but I've got all my notes down here. There's talks of some of the hotels opening in July, and the media are saying that there will be a lot of social distancing measures in place, segregating sunbathers by age. That's a bit ageist personally, I think, but there we go. Plus the all-inclusive buffet will be no more for obvious reasons. Have you heard the news, and what's your thoughts on the new normal? I hate that word. Do you think this will have any adverse effect on the tourism in the Canaries? Because at the end of the day, it's meant to be a holiday, and personally, it does sound like hard work to me.
Well, you're exactly right. They are looking at the safety precautions in hotels. That means the buffet where you're milling around and you're like passing over somebody to grab the beans, or you're rushing to get the last sausage. That will probably end. I have heard that some hotels are thinking about having a buffet type thing, but with servers, like a carvery, where you walk past and say, I'll have some of that, and then they throw it on your plate from 1.5 meters away. Or you get your own bucket, so they can chuck the stuff in your bucket. So they're still working on that, and I think every hotel is going to put something in place. But the rules are the same. They've always been the same. Don't work at full capacity and keep 1.5 meters distance. And if you can't keep 1.5 meters distance, then masks are compulsory. So it's not that you've got to lie on the sunbed with a mask. It just means that if you're in an area, a public area, where 1.5 meters distance cannot be guaranteed, you have to wear a mask. Now, if they sort the pool out where everybody gets 10 square meters and there's one bed and that's it, and there's corridors to get there and back and a one-way system, then I don't see a problem. But as you say, do you want to do that? So you've got to look at yourself. Say, what is a holiday to me? Now, for me and Christina, a holiday was, when we were taking holidays, a holiday was a change of scenery, some exotic or food and drink and sights and sounds, and maybe just relaxing, drinking stuff in, including alcohol, eating the food. And you can still do that now. So I think if you're looking for a holiday that you want to walk along the promenade, you want to look out to sea, stop in a watering hole, have a few drinks in the evening, I think that's going to be great, especially if you support the local businesses and don't go to like an all-inclusive hotel.
Yeah.
If you like go and venture out or get a car, hire a car.
Yeah.
From Andrew. For instance. A car hire, and then just have a go around the island. I think that type of holiday is going to be okay. Also, the adventure type holiday, so where you go walking in the Anaga Mountains, or if you go into Mascar, or if you go on the flower route, or if you go to, there's not going to be many festivals this year, but if you go to visit little villages and stuff, then I thought that's still going to be on the cards. Jumping off a mountain, which you and Andrew are going to do.
Yeah.
I'm too heavy, I asked. I'm too heavy.
I think I am now.
After lockdown, yeah. Yeah, so basically what we offer is a beautiful weather, some great culture, some nice food, some nice drink, top class or whatever you want to do. We're still a reasonably priced island. I know that I've said before that maybe the quality will increase, and I actually had a Barney on Facebook last night with somebody who got an old post from me and sort of says, "You don't know what's happening," and he's right. I don't know what's happening, but there's no reason to call me an idiot. And so basically what I'm saying is that it's up to you what type of holiday you want. If you were the guy that drank 10 pints in the airport before you came here, drank 3 bottles of vodka on the plane, got off the plane, went down to the local pub, then partied all night, kissing all the girls and rubbing up against all the guys. Not the same person, obviously. Or you never know.
You never know. Could be these days.
After all that drink, you never know. Then that's probably not going to happen. So, if you want that type of holiday, it probably won't happen this year.
Yeah. Do you ever see, which brings me to number 9 perfectly actually, do you ever personally see the way we travel ever going back to how it was? If so, when? Or do you agree with the media that we will be all living in this new normal? I really do dislike that word. I want the old normal, I don't want the new normal. And media, please stop using the phrase new normal, because it's annoying. Stop it. Sky, stop it. BBC, stop it. Stop it. Do you see it going back to the way it was?
As a personal thing, I think that it's a mindset. So I think that there's times in our lives where things have changed. You didn't used to have to take your shoes off when you were walking through a metal detector in an airport, for instance. But after 9/11, there was changes, and it's become, and I don't want to use the word, but it's become the new normal. After 9/11, lots of things came in that now you just accept. Okay? So I think we're at a crossroads again now, and that things will change, and eventually we'll just accept them as being new normal, or as normal. So where do you want to go back to? How far do you want to go back? Do you want to go back to the times of BOAC, where nobody could afford to go and everybody's gone to Skegness and only the rich people were going to Torremolinos? How far do you want to go back? Or do you want to go back to the,
I want to go back to the 80s, please.
Just a minute, mate. Oh, my time machine's in the shop, sorry.
When you get it back, take me back to the 80s. Better music.
I did.
Better movies.
I did.
Which brings me to number 10, which we've already kind of covered anyway. So here we go. Always.
I've got the answer to number 10 here.
Oh, you've actually got an answer to number 10 this time. Always the same question.
I've got the answer to number 10, yeah.
Always the same question, Tim. But as you know, the goalposts keep moving every day. So here it is. Mm-hmm. When do you think us people, Brits, because I'm a Brit, will be allowed back to the island of Tenerife, in your opinion?
Okay, got it here. 15th of July.
There you go, 15th of July, if you do as you're told. I think that's every question covered now, so hopefully I'll see you on the 15th of July in the new normal. I'm using it now on my channel, in the new normal. And there's nothing normal about me. Tim, I just want to say again, I bring you these updates, but go down to Tim's webpage, because he's got lots of different social media, and if you want updates, by the way, your I can't speak, balcony banter is superb, so we get lots of different banter there between yourself and Christine, different updates on the island, and there's lots of great updates there, and I think it's a bit more it's more often than what we do, so head down there, timothydowd.com, and go on, click on his podcast, and also his YouTube as well. I think you put your podcasts on your YouTube as well, because I listen.
I do. Yeah, when I publish them, what I do is it's just podcast is like a radio, as you know, and you can go to any of the podcasting things like Apple, Google, Spotify. You can even ask Alexa to play Aftercast Tenerife Afternoons, please. And she'll tell you to turn off the profanity filter first for some reason. Although I don't bloody swear.
I don't think bloody's classed as swearing. Not in the.
I don't think it is. No.
No, but seriously,
so,
Tim's got
so
some
you can go there, but I
excellent...
also publish it to YouTube.
You publish it to YouTube. But seriously, Tim's got some excellent channels down there. And if you love Tenerife, Tim's in the know, obviously. He lives in Tenerife, and all his channels down there will give you updates and banter on Tenerife and interviews with the local people as well. So that's really good. And also an interview with me, I think, once, wasn't it? There you go.
There is one, yeah. You were
with me.
episode 6, I think. Episode 5.
Yeah, so head down.
Episode 5.
Head down there. And if you also, there's a link down there as well. If you want to buy Tim a coffee, there's a little link down there. Click on it, buy him a coffee, and that'll be great. You like a little coffee now and again, don't you?
Yeah, it's the yellow coffee with the white top I like.
Is that the Barraquito?
No, this is cerveza.
Oh, what's that?
It's the cerveza coffee.
Oh, nice. I shall have one of them when I come over. Tim, thank you very much for your time. I know you'd rather be out there in the sunshine than talking to me sat in an office in Nottingham. So there we go. Thank you very much. Hopefully I will see you. No, in fact, definitely I'll see you in the new normal on July the 15th, and I'll buy you more than a coffee. I shall see you then.
See you.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Okay, so there you go, Tim Dowd there over on the island of Tenerife. So fingers crossed, all being well, if we adhere to all the rules and regulations, we will be back on the island of Tenerife on the 15th of July. I'm really hoping we are, so I can bring you lots more vlogs from that wonderful island that we all love so much. Now, a few weeks ago, I interviewed a hospital porter called Rhys Scarhill, and I sent him a MacMaster t-shirt, which he's just received. So I think it went to him on halfway around the world, I believe, a slow boat from China, so his father said. Well, he's now got that t-shirt, and here is a picture of Rhys Scarhill doing his MacMaster pose in that t-shirt. There you go, looking superb there, Rhys. Keep up the great work. You are on the front line and you're doing a great job. Thumbs up to the NHS there. Anyway, that's all from me today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click that little bell for notifications of when I upload new videos. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, which is just there. And also, if you want one of my new special edition Tenerife Let's Go Departure Board 2020 t-shirts, or a 2021, because some of you have requested 2021, which is quite rightly so, because some of you are waiting until next year, then the links are down below for those as well. That's one of my favourite designs, actually, probably because it's not got me on it. So there you go, that's down there. Every time I wear one of my t-shirts with my face on it, looks like I've got two heads or something, so it looks a bit odd for me to wear it. Anyway, that's all from me today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, stay safe, stay positive. Goodbye.